for Trump, if he can't control himself where he gets so aggrieved all the time and goes into the grievance, he had so many opportunities. And I think he went in there with the notion, I am going to highlight her record and what happened, but then he didn't
okay, but let's not overthink it. This is like you had a wedding and it didn't go exactly as you wanted, but no one else really knows it. Trump controlled
other people know this.
But Trump controlled himself more than normal. Okay?
I don't think that's an argument that's going to make people feel good.
From that point of view.
Top Republican fundraiser and former Republican Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, was visibly laughed at by a group of Trump-friendly reporters on live TV when he desperately tried to spin Trump's disastrous defeat at the hands of Vice President Kamala Harris in their debate. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, we have several clips to talk about in this video. Yes, this is the ongoing humiliation of Kevin McCarthy, who was once, not too long ago, the most powerful elected Republican in the United States. His humiliation continues. He continues to debase and disgrace himself in front of the American people. He's no longer a member of Congress. He's certainly no longer Speaker of the House, but he is a major player in Republican politics, due in large part to the fact that he's their best fundraiser outside of Donald Trump himself. So I want to play the clip where he's laughed at on CNBC, which is a pro-corporate, pro-Trump friendly news network. They also occasionally will ask tough questions, but again, not at all hostile to Trump. I do want to play that clip, but first, to set the stage, I want to remind you of what Kevin McCarthy begged Trump and MAGA Republicans to do ahead of the debate in terms of just handling the vice president.
Let me ask you about something we're already starting to hear, again, mainly from some of your former House colleagues who have been attacking Harris. They've been calling her a DEI vice president. A lot of people already think that attack line is racist. Are you confident that your party and Donald Trump can stay on the other side of the line and not delve into racially charged or racist attacks on a black female
I would
candidate?
say two attacks I've heard Republicans give that are totally stupid and dumb to do is the DEI attack. Okay? The other attack that I would not do is saying that the president has to resign.
Interesting.
That would be an advantage for Kamala. Air Force One is very powerful when it lands somewhere. And you know what? Something will happen between now and the election, a hurricane or something else, and she'll be able to present herself as a leader. Or maybe there's some foreign policy. That is a mistake for any leader to go out and say that on the Republican side. This DEI, that seems like a petty. Look, I disagree with DEI, but she is the Vice President of the United States. She is the former U.S. Senator. These congressmen that are saying it, they're wrong in their own instance.
All right.
So that's Kevin McCarthy for cynical reasons, but whatever, making the case that basically, listen, you need to stay on message. You need to be professional. You don't need to insult or make personal attacks. Stick to the issues. Well, obviously, Donald Trump did not do that in the debate with Vice President Kamala Harris. And so after that debate, Kevin McCarthy goes on to CNBC again, a fairly pro-corporate, fairly Trump-friendly network. And he tried to spin on behalf of the Republicans and Trump and was visibly laughed at by the host. So we got to play this.
Will there be another debate?
No.
There will not be another debate.
That's my... Look, I'm not running the campaign. I don't think either of them want another debate. Kamala feels she did what she needed to do. She doesn't want to make another mistake. I don't think it's going to change the outcome.
For Trump, if he can't control himself where he gets so aggrieved all the time and goes into the grievance, he had so many opportunities. And I think he went in there with the notion, I am going to highlight her record and what happened, but then he didn't
okay, but let's not overthink it. This is like you had a wedding and it didn't go exactly as you wanted, but no one else really knows it. Trump controlled...
other people know this.
But Trump controlled himself more than normal. Okay?
I don't think that's an argument that's going to make people feel good.
From that point of view, did he miss opportunities? What she did well, I would say, she would avoid answering the question, then pivot to something and talk about the crowd size or talk about Wharton.
And then jumped right on it.
Then he would jump on it.
One of those.
He should just avoided that. But that doesn't...
What does that tell you about his ability to... one of the commentators afterwards made a comment about, it maybe men are just too emotional to be president.
No, not at all. Look, simply put, did Trump make the tough decisions when it came to Soleimani? Did Trump make the tough decisions that Putin never invaded another country? Did Trump make the tough decisions to secure our border? That's what people are going to look at. That's what people are going to make decisions about.
Speaker, but here's my question to you, which is...
So again, just watching Kevin McCarthy crumble on screen, like his eyes are darting. He's like, Jesus, I need something, please. What Kamala did was this. I mean, for him to be laughed at by those hosts, particularly Joe Kernan, the first host to speak to him on set, the male, that guy is in the freaking bag for Trump. We've played him in previous videos. He is passionately, rabidly pro-Trump. And even he thought the debate was a disaster. And even he is not buying Kevin McCarthy's spin. That's how bad it is, folks. Nobody knows. It's like, you had a bad day, but nobody knows. Like, everybody knows. More people watched the vice president debate Donald Trump than they watched Donald Trump debate President Biden. And we know how disastrous that was for President Biden politically. This has a potential to be just as disastrous for Trump. Certainly, Republicans don't have the honesty and self-awareness to revisit whether or not Trump should be the candidate the way that the Democrats did in the aftermath of that debate. But the spin is so pathetic. It wasn't a wash. It wasn't that they both failed to accomplish certain things no. The vice president, did she debate perfectly? No, but nobody debates perfectly. She gave a very impressive performance and she destroyed Donald Trump. She humiliated Donald Trump probably better than President Biden did in 2020, probably better than Secretary Hillary Clinton did throughout their 3 debates in 2016. She handed Donald Trump a brutally decisive L. I mean, the polling numbers for Trump on that debate are about as bad as Biden's were after that first debate. And consider the media coverage, consider all the attention on that. That's how badly Trump is doing with respect to polls. I mean, we've seen the focus groups as well. Fox focus groups, Fox News. Their focus groups, their swing state voters are saying, yeah, by at least a 2-1 margin. No, she kicked his ass. And we've talked about the polls as well. The post-debate polls have been brutal for Trump. So Kevin McCarthy's spin, it's not working. Again, they laughed at him to his face on screen. You got to love it. I will say, though, Kevin McCarthy wasn't alone. You actually have a Republican senator, Hagerty, said this on Fox News.
Great to have you here. Senator, you just heard from some Republicans critical of Trump's performance. What was your assessment?
I watched the debate very carefully last night, as I did the debate back in June with Joe Biden. I think President Trump actually won the debate because I think the American people didn't get a chance to hear at all.
He thinks Donald Trump won the debate. Donald Trump liked that. Bill Hagerty is 100% right. He admitted, I won the debate over Comrade Kamala. That's because Bill has a functioning brain and is intellectually honest, unlike the communist media that reinforces the discredited Democrat talking points, which claim victory without having won. Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala, but that didn't help her win the debate. Taylor Swift, I just now noticed this. Taylor Swift didn't endorse the vice president until after the debate. You moron. That's for sure. Lady Gaga can also endorse her, but it won't help her. Yeah. Pure cope coming from Kevin McCarthy and Donald Trump. I keep going back to it. I wonder do you remember, I did a video about this too, several videos where this has come up because it's so funny, but Kevin McCarthy went on Fox News and talked to Howard Kurtz several months ago about peaceful transfer of power and recognition of election outcomes. And Kevin McCarthy said, well, enough about Republicans respecting the peaceful transfer of power and accepting the results of free and fair elections. Did Hillary Clinton concede the election to Donald Trump? And Howard Kurtz, Fox News host, was like, yeah, she did. She publicly conceded. And then McCarthy was like, he did the blinking reboot thing where his eyes are darting and he's having to do a hard reset. And he was like, well, but did she didn't do interviews about it. Bruh, come on. I mean, folks, again, the reason this is so important, number one, we got to take these victory laps when and where we can get them because politics is an ugly business. Donald Trump may still yet win the election as far as I'm concerned. So we have to pounce on this cause for joy when and where we can find it. Number one. Number two, Kevin McCarthy isn't some schmuck. He's their top fundraiser. He was a Republican congressman. He was the Speaker of the House. What he says still matters, believe it or not. Maybe it shouldn't, but it does. And the desperation of his spin, the lack of substance to the spin for Trump after that debate is so bad that pro-Trump journalists are laughing, visibly, audibly laughing in the face of a former Republican Speaker of the House on live TV because he thinks that Donald Trump didn't lose that debate. Pretty funny stuff, pretty pathetic stuff. And in the meantime, of course, you let me know what you think in the comments.